Okay, so good day po mga fellow taong bayan Seymour ko. At ngayon po papag-usapan natin tong nangyari sa flip top between EJ Power and Vitrum, kung saan may mga sinabi po dito si EJ Power na susunugin daw yung ganyan na palasyo. And then pero anyway po, kahit hindi talaga tayo sigurado kung whether or not sinabi ba talaga to ni Secretary John Vic, ay nevertheless po i-discuss ko na lang din sa inyo kung yung ginawa ba ni EJ Power ay posible talaga yun siya maging inciting to sedition. So i-explain ko po muna sa inyo ano ba yung sedition, inciting to sedition, ano yung elements ng crime na yon, and mag-share din po ako sa inyo ng decided Supreme Court case para mas maintindihan nyo po talaga yung karapatan natin, yung free speech po natin in relation to its limitations at kung paano talaga yun siya na re-restrict or na penalize. Okay, so yan po ang magiging discussion natin for today. So to start things off po, panoorin muna natin kung ano yung actual na sinabi ni EJ Power dito po sa Flip Top Battles na event.
EJ? EJ? Wala nang matatanga yung mga mali mong binibitaw. Ngayon alam na ng lahat, marami ka lang nililigaw. Kaya nga lahat madadala, ultimo pati ikaw, pag narinig mo na yung pinaglalaban mong people, power ang sinisigaw. Ano? Malakas ba yung hakbang yung natututulan lang naman? Alam nyo, makakamit lang yung pagbabago sa madugo na paraan. Kaya kung gusto nyo ng ganyan, humanda ang hukbong sandatahan, aktivista at buong mamamayan, tara sabay-sabay natin na sunugin yung loob ng Malacanang. I am not the one to fuck with.
Okay, so I think yun naman na yung sinabi niya talaga dito. So una-una po ang kailangan nyo talaga i-take note dito is number one, this was a flip top battles event versus EJ Power versus Vitrum. So makita po nyo, lahat po ng taong dyan umattend dito sa flip top na event. Okay, so yan po. And then because of this, allegedly, sinabi daw po to ni Secretary John Vic, I am a fan of Flip Top, I watch it myself, but that's inciting to sedition. Walang panag-iba yan sa mga tanghal ng rally sa stage tapos mananawagan ng Marcos resign. John Vic Remulla, DILG Secretary, January 25, 2026. So again, ulitin ko lang, i-clarify ko po allegedly, sinabi daw to ni Secretary John Vic. And the reason po kaya ako sinasabing allegedly is because wala akong makita sa mainstream media na may ganito talagang statement si Secretary John Vic, di ba? So, yan po ang una kong gustong i-clarify na hindi ko po makita. But again, nevertheless, explain ko pa rin po sa inyo yung nangyari dito kung posible nga ba yun for any legal violations like that of inciting to sedition. Anyway po, ngayon punta na tayo sa jurisprudence or sa decided case ng Supreme Court na gusto ko pong i-share at i-discuss sa inyong lahat. At yung case po na i-discuss ko sa inyo is GR number 227004, April 25, 2003. ABS-CBN Corporation versus Ampatuan. So, itong case po na to involves very heavy and lengthy discussions po tungkol sa right to free speech, paano yun siya malimit, and kung ano yung example na pwede makonsider as seditious speech. Okay, so in other words, dito po natin makikita yung ating karapatan na magsalita, mag-express, at kung ano yung limitations ng karapatan na yun. Okay, so anyway po, padaanan ko muna yung basics talaga ng free speech. Hindi ko na ipapakita dito kasi nakailang discuss naman na tayo regarding this. But our right to free speech po, freedom of expression, that is guaranteed and protected po by our 1987 Constitution, and to be specific, nasa Article 3, Section 4 po yan. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, of the press, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it is a constitutionally protected right po yan, yung right to free speech and expression natin. But of course, like what I have also discussed repeatedly and shown you in multiple cases already, is hindi po yun siya absolute. And one of the limitations po sa free speech natin is of course kung nakakasakit na kayo ng kapwa ninyo or kung nagiging krimen na yung speech ninyo. So yung best example po niyan are yung mga libelous statements kasi nakasira po yun ng reputation ng ibang tao. The crime po of paninirang puri. Therefore, hindi po protected speech pag makonsider as libelous speech yung sinasabi ninyo. And in this case po natin, ang pwede naman pumasok na provisions is the provisions on sedition or inciting to sedition po, to be specific. Okay? And yung inciting to sedition naman po, yung elements niyan is pag meron ka pong gawing statements, speeches, artistic works na posibleng mag-result to seditious actions ng ibang tao. So in other words po, ikaw lang yung nag-incite or naghikayat sa iba para gumawa ng mga seditious actions. Yan po yung krimen na inciting to sedition. And yung sedition naman po, the easiest way para ma-explain po natin yan, that is somewhat related po to political activities. So kung may ginawa po kayong political revenge sa ibang tao, posible po yun maging seditious na action, or kung may sirain po kayong mga government offices, government establishments para mapigilan yung paggawa nila ng trabaho nila sa government office na yun, pwede rin po yun maging sedition. Okay? At ngayon po, i-apply lang muna natin sa actual facts on discussion natin. So ang sinabi po doon ni EJ Power is susunugin daw yung palasyo. Diba? So kung makita po ninyo, that is in a way a political attack to the Malacanang Palace. So kung mangyari talaga yon, that can constitute as the crime of sedition. Kung mangyari po talaga at magkaroon ng sunugan. Okay? However, tandaan po natin, ang krimen kasi dito na ina-allege daw na ginawa ni EJ Power is not sedition itself but rather inciting. Yung pag-induce niya sa iba na gumawa ng seditious action na yon, yung yung pagsusunog daw. Okay? But anyway po, going back to this case, ngayon ipapakita ko po sa inyo yung relevant provisions na gusto kong i-discuss. Okay, at yung una pong gusto ko ipakita sa inyo is under the 9th header po ng case na to, which discusses yung basics again of free speech. This is going to be in addition to what I have already previously stated. So dito po kung makita ninyo, free speech should be encouraged under the concept of a marketplace of ideas. So in other words, dapat daw yung free speech talagang i-encourage natin yun sa mga tao. Dapat mag-express talaga kayo ng sarili ninyo, magsalita talaga kayo, because kung mas madami pong nagsasalita, then that shows na meron po tayong healthy democracy, diba? There is a marketplace of ideas, exchange of thoughts po between numerous and multiple individuals. Okay? And then, yung isa pa pong gusto ko lang din ipakita sa inyo dito is more speech is preferred over suppression and censorship. So, dyan pa lang po, makikita natin with all these statements ng Supreme Court ay talagang mataas yung threshold or mataas po yung requirements bago ma-censor or ma-penalize po yung right to free speech natin. Okay, so anyway po, yan yung pinaka-basics talaga ng free speech, and hindi ko na lang i-discuss sa inyo yung clear and present danger test kasi hahaba pa yung discussion natin. But I am sure nakita nyo naman na po siguro yung idea or concept ng right to free speech at kung kailan lang yun siya dapat nare-regulate or napipinalize. So ngayon po, punta naman tayo sa discussion about seditious speech na. So konting break lang muna tayo guys. Just a reminder po na hopefully you can consider subscribing sa YouTube channel ko if you enjoy my content or my videos. Pag sa YouTube po, 100% free po yung subscription. And hopefully also you can consider liking po itong video na to. So maraming salamat po to everyone, and ngayon tuloy po ulit tayo sa video. And for seditious speech po, we are still under yung 9th na header po na discussion. Pero ito po yung relevant na provision dyan. So nakalagay po dito, this is why seditious speech or advocacy of the use of force or law violation directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action are excluded from the guarantees of free speech. These are of little to no value to the exposition of truth. Anyway po, basahin nyo na lang to kung gusto nyo yung mga next portions. But ang main point dito, unang-una, is of course, like what I already stated, inciting to sedition po na speech ay hindi po yun protected ng free speech, ng right to free speech natin. That is a form of limitation. And then yung next po na kailangan natin i-take note dito na in-emphasize ng Supreme Court is yung seditious speech daw is one which will produce imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action. Okay, so dito na po ngayon, posible pumasok yung isang defense dito ni EJ Power. Kasi kung titingnan po nyo, by the very statements of Supreme Court, producing imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action. So kung titingnan po natin tong event na to, ang first question dyan is there any imminent lawless action ba na nangyayari because of the speech nito ni EJ Power? Okay, at kung ako po ang maging defense lawyer, ang sasabihin ko po dyan is walang imminent lawless action and it is not likely to produce the desired outcome of the message or of the speech. Kasi kung titingnan po natin, i-replay lang natin to konti. 'Diba? So, ang gusto ko lang po i-point out dito, kaya ko yan pinakita sa inyong lahat, is because after the battle or after the part of the message ni EJ Power doon, nagyakapan pa yung dalawang contenders. And then yung crowd na nandito, makikita natin, wala naman silang ginagawa ngayon. Hindi naman sila lumabas sa venue. Or in other words po, hindi naman sila mukhang gagawin talaga nila yung sinabi ni EJ Power na dapat gawin daw dun sa Malacanang Palace. 'Di ba? So yan po, makikita natin from the very actions of the participants, from the crowd, there appears to be no production of an imminent lawless action or a likelihood to produce such action, 'di ba? And then pangalawa pa po na kailangan din nating i-take note dito, again kung for the defense po ako na lawyer, is that this is an event for entertainment purposes, 'di ba? Alam naman po lahat ng tao 'yan na pag pumunta sila dito sa flip top battle, hindi naman sila pumunta diyan para manindigan against corruption, para mag-push ng political ideologies, political advocacies, but rather gusto lang nila panoorin itong mga magagaling na rappers po ng Pilipinas. 'Di ba? Yan yung purpose. So in simple terms, this is for entertainment purposes, itong mga ganitong event. So from there, makita natin na mukhang mahirap mangyari talaga yung gustong political action na sinabi dito ni EJ Power. Because again, it is clearly a flip-top battle event and alam naman po ng mga attendees na entertainment lang to for entertainment purposes. And then kung makita rin po natin yung reaction, nagyakapan pa po yung participants and then the crowd nag-cheer lang naman because of everything that has transpired so far sa event. So wala po dun yung pag-produce ng lawless action and the high degree or the imminence na mangyari yung lawless action na yon. So from there, we can argue po na hindi siya pasok dun sa elements ng inciting to sedition. So yan lang po ang kailangan talaga natin tandaan. Una-una tingnan natin yung circumstances surrounding the statements, kung ano yung venue, ano yung purpose ng venue ng event na yon. At of course, titingnan din natin yung intent nung author ng speech or ng statement, kung whether or not gusto ba talaga niya mag-aklas yung mga tao, gumawa ng mga seditious actions. So yan po yung kailangan natin in-consider. Hindi po dapat tayo basta-basta mag-penalize unless and until ma-fully prove talaga po yung essential elements of inciting to sedition. Ang pag-file po ng kaso kasi, it does not require evidence na will really lead to a conviction. So, mas mababa po yung evidentiary threshold pag-file ng criminal cases. Pero sa pag-convict, dun po yan mas madugo kasi kailangan ng guilt beyond reasonable doubt talaga. So, anyway po, yung point ko, kung mga affected parties dito, they believe they have a cause of action to file a case, then karapatan po nila yun, di ba? Nasa kanila po yung burden para ma-establish nila na merong reasonable certainty of conviction, di ba? But of course, pag umandar po to sa mga actual cases na yung defendant or yung accused po, mapepresent naman niya yung side niya at pwede niya po gamitin yung mga ganitong defenses, mga legal principles na diniscuss ko based on the ABS-CBN versus Ampatuan case. Diba? So, yan lang po ang tatandaan natin. Medyo inconvenient lang talaga pag nagkaroon na ng kasuhan kasi you have to answer the due process rights and clauses po na constitution natin will kick in. Therefore, yung judicial proceedings aandar. So, yan. Maging ready lang din basically yung point ko dito sa mga talagang taong gusto makibaka or manindigan. Diba? And then, isa pa po, idagdag ko na lang din, itong sinabi ni EJ Power na sunugin yung ganyan, kung i-correlate din natin yun, diba? May mga nakikita rin naman tayong rallies na yung mga effigies mismo ng presidente natin sinusunog, not only of the current president but even of the former president. So from there, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Porket sinunog yung effigy, ibig sabihin susunugin din yung actual president. And alam naman natin na hindi yun mangyayari, diba? Or hindi nila yun gagawin. Most likely hindi po nila yun gagawin. Diba? So parang ganyan din po yan, somewhat similar. Hindi naman porket sabihin niya dito in a rap battle, in a clear entertainment event, ay gagawin talaga niya yun or hinihikayat niya yung iba. So yan po yung kailangan talaga tingnan dyan. Aside from the actual statement, kailangan din tingnan yung surrounding circumstances, yung reaction, and kung paano yun ni-receive ng mga tao around him. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. If you like more legal videos on current events, subscribe lang po kayo sa channel ko. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!